before I leave, right? I want to tell you an African. Do you guys want to hear a typical African story? You guys want to hear a typical African story, okay? So it begins, right, in Africa, and the sun is rising, and it's like, sorry, no, that's a different kind of story. But all I'm saying is like in Africa, okay? So Africa is full of assholes, right? We've got assholes from every single country. Like, for example, I had planned a trip to Cape Town, right? I wanted to see one of the most remarkable things you're ever going to see on the African continent, which is Table Mountain. I had booked and checked in like online. I booked my flights and, okay, I know it sounds like a different story because if it was an African story, I should have walked there, right? What I'm saying, no, but we book flights. We can do that, and we can check in online. So we checked in online, right? I checked in online. I wanted a window seat. I wanted to sit by the window and watch Table Mountain. I charged up my cameras. I walked into the plane. I had my hand luggage. I put up my leg, and what do I see? Sitting in my seat, fucking Nigeria. Okay, I'm allowed to say that because black people are not allowed to be racist. So I saw a fucking Nigerian sitting in my seat, right? And I looked at him and I was like, because you know what it's like when you're on the plane? You try to act very civilized, right? You know it's something that's wrong that's happened there. You want to tell someone, get the fuck out of my seat because I've got my body pass, but you want to act very civilized about it. So I was civilized on my face, but on the inside, I was doing that thing that we all do. We were angry. On the inside, we're like, what the fuck is going on? And even though you look very nice on the outside, and I was like, sir, excuse me, but I think you're sitting in my seat. He says, what is your seat number? I said, my seat number is 16E. And he said, I said, what is your seat number? He said, it's 16D. I said, that's this seat. He said, you sit there. And I did the only thing that anybody who's angry, pent up with anger and aggression like I am with Zimbabwe, because you know, like with Zimbabweans, when we get angry, we don't just get angry about the incident, we get angry about a lot of shit. Robert Mugabe, 37 years, fucking 94. We just like, it's bottled up and it's on the inside, but we look okay on the surface, right? And I'm looking at this guy and I did the only thing that a person of my level of anger would do. I sat in that seat. And then what happened was that I started imagining, well, have you ever done that? You're sitting next to someone that you don't like and you start imagining all sorts of bad. Have you ever done that, sir? Where you're trying to imagine all sorts of bad things? Do you know what I did? I was in my head. I went and I flew all the way to Nigeria, right? To this guy's village. And I threw fire and brimstone and burnt his fucking village, right? And I burnt it like, and his grandmother, who didn't have her clothes on because her clothes were on the washing line, I burnt all the fucking clothes. She comes running out. She's fucking naked, all right? And all the little orphans are running around. The grandma, they don't have any clothes on because the fucking brimstone has taken care of that shit, right? The elephants come. They start trampling over all their vegetables. They've got no fucking food left, right? Nothing is happening in this particular village. And then what happens is that the giraffes now start arriving into the village. They don't even eat meat, but they're fucking eating all the little orphans one at a time, just picking them off at the top of their heads. And now the elephants are trampling on the grandmother. Now she's dead. All the tourists are there. We've got people from Germany, from the Netherlands. We've got them from America. They're taking pictures. They're sending them home via Dropbox or whatever it is. And people are donating all sorts of fucking money to Africa. And then $5 billion has been raised because Madonna did a fucking concert. And then now a politician spends all of the fucking money, right? So now there's no money. The kids are now hungry. And now the ants are crawling up the little orphans, eating up all of their flesh. The Chinese take the opportunity and start making deals with the fucking ants to make miniature toys. And now the ants are running the entire village. And now Africa doesn't even exist anymore. And now all of the things are going really bad. And now there's just bones everywhere. The ants are using them to create a new colony. And then the plane landed. And then the plane landed. The plane landed, and this Nigerian, with fucking contempt in his eyes, like no soul of a human being, looks at me and says, my brother, thank you so much for allowing me to sit in your seat. I have never been on a plane ever in my life, so I don't know how these seat numbers work with the ED, what, but you allowed me to sit in your seat. It must be God who allowed you to allow me to allow you to allow me to sit in your seat. And I have never seen Cape Town from the plane before. It's the most beautiful sight I have ever seen in my life. And I want to thank God for allowing me to be here in your presence to allow me to see this beautiful sight. And he hugged me. And I looked at him and I was like, I'm so sorry I destroyed your village. I realized the ants were a little over the top.